Shirt is the sixth album from the band Porches, which is the musical project of Aaron Maine from New York. I've been following Porches since the release of their album The House, which I'm pretty sure I heard about through Anthony Fantano, and if I remember correctly, he didn't really like it, but I kinda did. I think what appealed to me at first about that album is really just the fact that it's called The House, actually, because I happen to have a metal project that goes by the same name. It's just called The House, and so that coincidence is just something that made me feel kind of mysteriously connected to it in a way. And also on the cover, there's a photo of Aaron with bleach blonde hair, and right around that time in my life, I was also bleaching my hair a whole lot. And so, sometimes it's just these surface level things that will, attract me to something new. I've been listening to their new album Shirt a whole bunch since it came out back in September. And I think the reasons that I like it so much are kind of a mix of things. Like, for example, in the fall season, I would say I'm just generally happier and also more receptive to new things. And I think that alone has made this album more exciting. And also, I just think it helps that I've connected with Aaron's music in the past, and really, I think it's these kinds of biases actually that have ended up making this album feel special to me. I would compare Shirt to Porches' last album, All Day Gentle Hold, because it feels very similarly like a culmination of all the styles and themes that Porches have been working with since the very beginning. But I would say the main difference with this new album is that it feels less like a party and more like an inward expression. I do have a couple criticisms, though. I would say that sometimes with the way that Aaron expresses himself, he can come across a little bit narcissistic. And I don't mean to call him a narcissist, really, because I don't really know him, obviously. But I will say that I do find that aspect of his music to be a bit off-putting. And secondly, there's also a very strong sex appeal to this music, and it is often very forward. And, in a way, I do feel that it's actually kind of brave to be that honest about your sexuality, so I admire it to some degree. But on the other hand, when I find that someone is kind of obsessed with sex, I do find that to be kind of an unbecoming characteristic. But overall, I really do enjoy this album, and I think Aaron is really firing on all cylinders with this one. I would also say that this feels like solitary music to me, because I know that Aaron often works alone. He writes this music on his own for the most part, and just judging by his lyrics, I get the sense that he's the kind of person that lives in his own world a little bit. And I think that is what I like the most about this music, because I would say that I'm similarly solitary in that way. And also I just like the way that Aaron expresses his dark side in this music, because it gives me the sense that maybe him and I share a similar fascination with a darker kind of playtime. The closer on this album is my favorite track, and I think that's really just because I tend to like more dramatic sounding songs, but also because this one really feels like it's one for the Porches legacy. The song is called Music, and I would describe it as a very simple and very quiet rock ballad. It's basically an ode to Aaron's love of music, and it's about how music has been such an important part of his journey. And I don't think it's going to be Porches' swan song, but if it is, then I think it would definitely make for a perfect one. Overall, I think Shirt is a great follow-up to All Day Gentle Hold, and I think it is definitely one of the strongest Porches albums to date.